good evening, pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to a very special World Wonder Ring Stardom loaded episode of Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I am your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and with me is a very special guest that I got a chance to enjoy the goodness of Joshi Pro Wrestling, not only in the US, but also in Japan as well. Welcome, everybody, TheChaseDanger, Brian. Welcome to the stream, bro.
What's going on?
How you
How y'all
feeling?
doing?
How
Doing
you
all right.
doing good?
Yeah, man. Ready to talk about this Goddess Tag League coming up. Thanks for having me on. One of my passions as being a pro wrestling fan for I'm gonna date myself here, but 40 plus years has always been tag team wrestling. Joshi wrestling is obviously something I'm very much a fan of. And combine those two things, now we're talking about Goddess Tag League. So it's two of my favorite things together, tag team wrestling and Joshi wrestling. So yeah, let's get into it, man.
Absolutely. So, for tonight's episode, we'll be discussing, previewing the 15th, can't believe we're already at 15th Goddesses
Crazy.
of Stardom Tag League. And I have to say, the lineup of teams is once again quite interesting, but there are some, obvious teams returning, but there are also some kind of, oh, I would have never imagined that sort of teams. So, the breakdown for this year: 16 total teams, two blocks, 8 teams a block, and once again, we will be doing the playoffs, which the top 3 teams from each block will advance to the playoffs, and of course, the number 1 seed from each block will get an automatic bye to the semifinals. So, without further ado, let's get started with the Red Goddesses block. So here, I got my graphics up. Let's jump right into it. First up, we have, of course, the current Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions representing Hate, BMI 2000, that's Natsuko Tora, and Ruka. Now, bro, I know it hasn't been too long since they won these tag titles, and this is a team that has competed in this tournament before. How do you feel about them going into this tournament as the champs?
Well, um, I kind of I'll put it this way. I saw it coming that they were going to be the ones to beat Gory for the titles. You kind of saw the pattern. I figured it was about that amount of time had passed, and the belts were going to get flipped soon. And when I saw them beat your girls FWC, I kind of figured the next step was they were probably going to win the tag titles, and they did. Really good match, I thought. Even though I hate to see Saya Ida lose under any circumstances, Hate is my favorite unit, so I at least had that to go off of, and it was cool to see Ruka, finally get a title.
Mm-hmm.
She's worked really hard, regardless of what anybody's thoughts are about her. She's not going to win the Worker of the Year award or anything like that, but I think she's solid, and I think they're really good together as a tag team. They're a fun tag team, and uh, I think going into the tournament, I don't think they're going to pull. I know we were talking offline about Despy and I'm sorry, Doki and Show running table in
Mm-hmm.
Junior Tag League. I don't think they're gonna do that here in Stardom, and they're gonna like win the tournament as the champs. So I think they're going to get as far as, the finals on one side of the bracket. And I think that's where I see them going. I think they'll set up maybe at least some kind of title defense within this that'll take place probably, at least I think, before Dream Queendom. Maybe. Um, but I think whoever comes out of the tournament, I think will have a strong chance at beating them at Dream Queendom. I don't imagine they're gonna keep the belts on Natsuko and Ruka for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's understandable. There are two defenses in so far, and of course, this is Tora's actually second reign with these tag titles. Of course, she had been champion with Jungle Kiona, and this was
Years ago.
Ruka's first tag title of her career. So it's definitely nice to see Ruka have a taste of singles and tag gold because she was a future champ. Um,
Yeah, that was like a blink and you miss it. I feel like.
yeah, pretty much when you think about it.
Yeah.
But I do expect, considering the teams that they have beaten and their defenses, beating, God's Eye, beating Me Vita Loca, and, earning the opportunity, beating Fukuoka Double Crazy. Like, I definitely see them as a threat, for sure, to at least potentially make top three out of the Red Goddesses block.
Easily.
Okay, next team. Well, this is another familiar team, especially considering they were in this tournament as a team last year. That would be Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi, and Saori Ano.
Yeah. So great team. Number one, they, obviously they're really close friends. They work great as a team, but I feel like they kind of telegraphed um, with Saori challenging Kamatani that, like, I'm gonna put it this way: I'm already crossing them off as not being someone who's going to win this tournament. I think they'll do well. Probably be one of those teams that will potentially reach the block finals. But I'm going to cross them off as not having any chance in hell whatsoever of actually winning the tournament because of the fact that you have that World of Stardom title match on the horizon at Dream Queendom.
Yeah, that's a good point. And they didn't really have much of a reign when they were Goddess of Stardom tag champs, that short while.
No,
And then they lost in that first defense to, Crazy Star. Or actually no, they had the victory over Crazy Star, and then I believe that's when Poi got hurt, if I remember correctly.
it's possible. I was very very busy at work at that time, so things were going by quick. So without having the ability to look it up in front of me, you're probably right. I do not remember. I just know that they were flipping the tag titles quite a bit around that time period. There weren't people getting really long reigns.
Actually,
At
yeah.
this two defense reign is right now that BMI 2000 have, like, before Wingory had their sizable run there for
Hmm.
months on end. There was a couple of years where it was like, man, the tag titles were getting flipped to me way too often as somebody who likes teams holding them for a bit.
Yes, and I actually just checked. Yeah, was vacated due to Poi injury,
Okay.
and then that was when Aphrodite won the tag titles for a second time together.
Yes. Okay. Now it's coming back to me.
Yeah, but no, that's a fair argument. Definitely don't see them winning either. Uh, Possibly top three out of the block, but definitely don't see them winning the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't see either of them taking many pins. Like, I mean, you're not going to have Sari uh, taking L's when she's supposed to be a credible threat to Kamatani, right?
Right.
That's booking 101. And Poi is pretty protected booking wise. I don't see Poi like taking pinfalls here and there either. So they'll lose a couple, and they'll lose somehow to not make it into the finals, I think. But
Hmm.
just unless they're not going to have a Goddess of Stardom tag title match at Dream Queendom, I don't see any way they win this.
Agreed. Definitely agree. Okay, this next team. Oh man, this is quite an interesting one, but had a little backstage segment and they've agreed to pair up. And that would be Yuna Mizumori from Cosmic Angels and the high speed champion from Neo Genesis, May Sarah.
So with this, you know, one thing I want to say just overall about the tournament, right, is that the one thing I applaud Okada on as a booker is he tries to get everybody involved one way or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think also to a certain degree that's to a detriment
Mm-hmm.
where you have, just like we were talking about right now with like Poi and Sari, right? I
Mm-hmm.
would have just ran Poi and Yuna in here as a team, right? Because it makes sense they're in the same
Interesting.
unit,
Mm-hmm.
and if you've got Sari challenging for the World of Stardom, you create a little bit more excitement in the tournament. Like, is this team going to go somewhere? What's going to happen? Rather than anybody that's kind of even remotely following is going to know that they're not going to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw this other, this mishmash team together, which they have a little bit of history recently, which is the smart side of the booking. Like he found a way to figure out what to do with the two of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But same time, I feel like there are teams just getting thrown in just to fill these blocks out to make it a lot more teams than it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I don't know. I don't know where they're going to go with this unless the point is for their storyline through this thing to be something where will they or won't they get along? And maybe at some point they implode, or maybe they bicker a lot through the tournament and it sets up, maybe we come back to Yuna versus May again at Dream Queendom, and maybe that's what they're setting up. That's the only thing I see this being a vehicle for is
Mm-hmm.
going back to that match again.
That's actually a really good point when you break it down like that. Um, and it's interesting because it's quite a change from last year because last year we had Yuna Mizumori and Aya Sakura, and we had Mei Sarah and Kohaku. So it's kind of an interesting change now. But you said it best. I definitely could see, maybe they're on the same page for a match or two, and then they just implode and go on a losing streak.
Yeah. And I mean, if that's the storyline that Okada's going with, I think that's cool because I think their matches so far have been great.
Hmm.
You and I both have the same grievance with the time limit on the high speed matches,
Yeah.
and how that's a little bit limiting. But I think if I'm gonna go lay it on the line right now, I think that's your high speed title match for Dream Queendom, and I think they almost go the time limit. And I think I'm gonna call it early here. I think Yuna's gonna beat her for that title.
Yeah, I think Yuna's deserving of it. I think that's a good candidate to have a run with the high speed title, especially considering how well she's done in those matches and has really shown that she can hang in the high speed division.
Yeah, I mean, she's a creative wrestler. Anybody that can wrestle in a company starting off where you don't have a ring when you're wrestling most of the time, you can certainly do different styles, and she's really acclimated to doing the high speed style. And there's a storyline behind this, which you don't normally get for traditionally with the high speed title, except for here and there. It's just been kind of like, okay, this is a title defense, and that's it. There's no real well crafted stories around the high speed title, and we've actually gotten that with these two.
Hmm. Absolutely. Alrighty. Next up, we're going back within the ranks of God's Eye. with our next team, the combo of Hina and Raniagami.
Ah, I was waiting for you to get to this one. This right here,
Mm-hmm.
this is my sleeper team. All right.
Ooh,
Um,
okay, okay.
yeah. I very much hope they go far. Um, if I was booking this thing, I would shoot them to the moon. If you want to talk about two people who have done nothing but like if you're buying stocks in people, right? Hina and Rana. Those are the two people I would buy stocks in. Now, right? What do you do with them though, right? Are you going to catapult one of them to a major singles title in the company? Is one of them winning the World or Wonder of Stardom title anytime soon? Probably not, right?
Right.
But what do you do with them to not stagnate all the growth they've shown this past year? You had Rana starting off like last year when we were in Japan. There was the whole, storyline between her and Koguma with the, Nokuma situation,
Yes.
and you got to see a lot more of Rana's personality side being goofy and whatnot. But I like killer Rana Yagami. I like Rana Yagami that goes out there and knocks the daylights out of people, right, with her strikes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Hina, for years, to me was I felt like she was going to wash out at one point with Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
Her sisters were so far ahead of her, not so much just like in ring,
Mm-hmm.
but it felt like she didn't know who she was. She didn't have confidence level when she walked out there. I don't want to say she looked lost. She never looked lost in the ring, but she looked like she was kind of just there, going through the motions, and she didn't have any swagger, any kind of anything. Well, guess what? That's not her anymore. That girl comes out there and carries herself like she knows she's good.
Oh yeah.
She knows she can whoop some ass. And like I'm I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And she has become one of my favorite wrestlers in Stardom over the past year. Her matches with Rana that she had are two of the like those are a couple of my favorite matches of the year from any company, right?
Mm-hmm.
That first time when they squared off for the future belt, and it was the opening match on
Oh.
I think that was that All Star?
I think it was All Star.
Yeah, that's easily in my top five matches I've watched this year, and I mean it's not in the bottom of the top five. Like that's way up there for my enjoyment. Like I was edge of my seat, fished in watching that match, and when I saw the list of teams, this was the one I was most excited about because I want to see how they are as a team going up against other top teams, and I want to see what the company really thinks of them. Because honestly, if it's me, that's my team that I'm having win this thing.
Oh, win the whole thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just me. Because I think like what else do you do with them, right? Because you don't want to stagnate the growth that you've had with either one of them.
Right.
And the tag titles, like I said before, it's been a belt where they flipped them here and there and this and that. I'm not saying they have to win the tag titles,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think them winning this tournament would be awesome. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But if I had my way, yeah, I would have them win the whole thing, honestly, because their work this year has been great, especially Hina. And Ronda's right there with her. And I think it's a cool ass team. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it would be a way of establishing another top tier tag team within the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just let them run together as synonymous with each other as a tag team for quite some time, right? Until you're ready to catapult one of them to something else. Like, you
Yes.
know what I mean? Like that's your wing gory type team for going forward. Not that they have to win the belts anytime soon, but it'd be great if they're linked together as a team. And this would cement that.
Now, I know they haven't teamed up together a whole lot compared to some of the other combos within God's Eye, but one thing I will say for the both of them, especially as singles wrestlers, is just how greatly they've improved. I mean,
Yeah.
Hina, it was only a matter of time. So I was definitely not shocked of how far Hina has come to this point. And I think it's just a matter of, maybe it was one of those things where she had to kind of transition out of that, part time school, part time wrestling sort of thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
maybe go full in on the wrestling and then really be able to get taken to, just high ceiling, a very high ceiling. And Rani Agami, I mean, after just how she's grown as far as tournament experience in Stardom, Pro Wrestling Wave. I mean, you look at this year; she had a pretty dang on good 5-star Grand Prix. Like, honestly, if some of the stats were a little bit different, she probably could have snuck her way into the playoffs. So I've been very impressed with how far Rani Yagami has come. I think a big highlight for me was the big upset victory in the Catch the Wave tournament that she had over the Phoenix of Osaka, Miyuki Takase. That was huge, and just really I've enjoyed just watching her grow as a wrestler. Have a little comedy side with, like you had mentioned, with the whole storyline with Koguma. Uh, Honestly, I think the future is very bright for these two, and putting them together in a tournament, it'll be very interesting to see how far they go. I take it. What do you think their chances are making top three?
Um, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. Right. I don't think they're gonna win it. But I think that just the things I've seen from Okada and his booking so far, I don't think it's any coincidence that they faced each other more than once, right? Just like going back to the Yuna and May thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think that was unintentional.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had some kind of plan there, and maybe this was the plan, was to make the two of them kind of synonymous with one each other, to have this like inner, faction rivalry, but then also for it to come full circle around with them being a killer tag team. So I think, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they go far. I don't think he'll be bold enough to have them win, but I'm going to cross my fingers. That's the team I'm going to be rooting for. So, since there's no wing glory in the tournament. I'm sure we'll get to that in a bit, but with that being the case, this is the team I'm going to be pulling for.
Gotcha. Couple of quick comments before we go to the next team. Shout out to Blood Money 47 and Keenan. Welcome to the stream. Says, yo, Blitz and Chase Danger. Hey, the 15th edition. See, Poi and Ano could make it to the top three just to lose to playoff round. Yuna and May, they aren't winning, but need to tease between these two related to the high speed title match. Agreed. To set up the high speed title match. And Keenan says Rana and Hina could make good contenders for May's high speed belt. Comments on that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I could see that happening, but honestly, I think that might be a step back, as much as it's more like or I guess I should say a lateral move for Hina right now,
Mm-hmm.
after that awesome run that she had with the future belt. Could those matches happen in the next like few months and stuff like that? And would I want to see them? Absolutely, that would be cool. But I really think I think where they're going with this is I think they're gonna establish them as a tag team. I just have a hunch.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, I mean, God's Eye doesn't have like uh a signature tag team in it. I wouldn't say, unless you're counting Shuri and Saki, which I guess, but not really, because Shuri's up here, what I
Right.
mean, in terms of
Yeah.
title contention and whatever, and then you got Saki down here.
Right.
For me, the best tag teams in wrestling have always been teams where the people are on equal footing. And this is somebody where you could put the two of them together and have them on equal footing and have them be a killer tag team where there is no weak link there. So I think this is going to be the God's Eye, like, official tag team is going to be Hina and Rana. I think that's where they're going.
Gotcha. Yeah, good breakdown. Really good breakdown. Okay, next up, a team that also teamed up last year. Welcome back, Reckless Fantasy. That is Waka Tsukiyama and Rion.
So, um, the reason I'm laughing, I mean, Jason, you know my feelings on Waka for the most
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
You know, I I won't super slander Waka on here. Waka's an awesome person. I've met her before. I don't know. In ring, she doesn't do a lot for me. After what happened in um the 5 star,
Hmm.
with the way that started out, where she was just taking L's like within a minute and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't see I don't see this team going anywhere. This is a filler team that's in there to. I think the most exciting thing that I look forward to out of this team is Rion getting more reps in a tournament.
Hmm.
Uh, for somebody who, admittedly, I was very, very low on Rion until like somewhere about middle of this year. I think
Hmm.
she's really gotten it lately and turned it on, and she's gotten better in the ring. And I actually now like look forward to her matches and look forward to seeing her growth. But for a while there, I feel like whereas some of the other people, like when Matoy came in,
Hmm.
it was very obvious like that she had a pretty high ceiling as far as I was concerned. People
Hmm.
like Rana, when Rana came in, when Carrara came in, right? I felt like they had more
Hmm.
to give immediately. And I felt like Rion was one of those people where I don't know if she's ever going to really, you know, make it within the company or she's going to be somebody that will be there for a year or two and then kind of watch out. But she's turned the corner for me in the past like 6, 7 months or so. And I feel she does belong. And I feel
Hmm.
like this tournament, uh, you're going to see a little bit more out of her, and I don't think they're going to win much, but at least I think what they're doing by putting her with Waka is Waka won't have to eat a pin every single match.
Right.
But I
Uh,
don't see them doing anything more than playing spoiler. I think they're going to play spoiler, is what they're going to do. They're going to beat somebody late in the tournament that's going to keep somebody out of the bracket.
yeah. To be honest with you, I don't see any more than one. Maybe they get away with 2 wins, or maybe a win and a
Yeah.
and a tie. But honestly, I don't think they'll lose out. But I definitely believe they are, the weakest team on this in the Red Goddesses block. But I mean, it was good to finally see Rion get a singles victory, and you know, her getting a chance to dabble in a little bit of Sendai Girls was nice as well. And I mean, when it comes to Waka, I think it was just one of those things where I don't know if it was just like, okay, we made her a champion, y'all can shut up now, or just yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Waka does a lot for the company. And like she's one of those people where she's a good liaison for whenever they want to do like English stuff because
Yeah.
of her being bilingual,
Yes.
So I think that's, it's one of those things where I think they wanted to, gold watch type thing. They wanted to give her something. And it's not like Waka's a terrible wrestler. She's by far not. It's more to me, like I've said before, is her character. She was more someone you wanted to cheer for when she was the lovable loser.
Right.
And then when they tried to, and then they kind of shifted the gears where it was like now, like I don't know the way she was acting in ring, like she was much more credible and whatever. And it was like, but you haven't really done anything, and it felt very forced. It felt weird. It didn't feel organic to me anyway. Other people can disagree with that, and more than welcome to. But I found myself instead of pulling for her, being like, oh, she's annoying, go away. It's a weird. I don't know how it looked like that, but yeah. And the one thing I'll say, I think it's probably they're going to get like one win. And
Mhm.
I will preface by saying, whenever there's tournaments like this, the one thing I try not to do,
Mhm.
I like to analyze the teams at face value going in. Right.
Yeah.
I don't like looking at schedules. I don't ever want to look at schedules for tournaments. I hate it when I'm listening to one of my favorite podcasts and they go so in depth where they'll pull up the schedule and they'll figure out exactly where this team is going to get that spoiler win. And then it's like, damn it, it's right there, right? Or they look at like the positioning of who's in main events on how many cards and stuff, and then it becomes it's almost like when you watch too many movies, right? You watch too much wrestling, you figure out exactly where everything's going.
Right.
I don't like doing that. So like the one thing I won't be doing ahead of this thing is looking at the schedule. I'm just gonna watch the matches and enjoy how they play out and make predictions ahead of time. But I don't like looking at the schedule to make sure I'm making the exact right predictions and go full fantasy, mode because
Right.
it kind of ruins it from a viewing perspective.
No, that's totally understandable. Totally get that. Oh, a few comments. Blood Money says, "Sorry, Rihanators and Waka fans, that team ain't win." Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Furious, welcome to the stream. Said Stardom finally started accepting PayPal. Now I can catch up. Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Sweet.
And Keenan, ooh, interesting. Keenan says, could a heel turn benefit Waka?
No. I'll
I
be.
I have to agree. I
Have
have to
you heard?
agree.
Have you heard Waka talk? Like, I'll put it that way. She has one of those dorky, really dorky, like the pitch to her voice, everything. I don't see like if she tried being like evil and villainous, it would be even more laughable. I just
Yeah.
feel like she's one of those people like she's got goofy looks on her face half the time. She's perfect for being a comedy wrestler. That's
Yes.
what she is. And a plucky underdog comedy wrestler. That's where she belongs. I hate to pigeonhole people because, sometimes people have a wider range. I don't think she does. I think that's her ceiling. She also got into wrestling later in life. She's not a spring chicken, as they say,
Right.
compared to some of the girls on her roster. Not that she's old, at all, but we know who Waka is and what Waka is.
Yeah.
Uh, and her being a heel, I don't think so. I think her as a heel for anybody that watches Marigold, I think you get Megaton, right?
Yeah.
That's her ceiling as a heel. So I don't think it would do anything different. And it would just kind of be goofy.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Like wow, turn. You know what I mean? It just wouldn't make any sense. That's like a WWE turn.
Yeah. Like it. I don't think it would work out either. So nah. Nah.
Yeah.
Great breakdown. All right. Next team. We're about to dive into Mi Vida Loca with the
Uh,
combo of Bozilla and Akira Kuragane. Let's go.
so that team, okay, without looking at, trying to get really analytical and figuring out where they can get their wins, I think this is going to be a situation of Akira taking a lot of L's,
Hmm.
and that's how they keep Bozilla in check and not have her end up in the finals, right?
Right.
Because they've got Bozilla as this indomitable force almost, and obviously look at her, right?
Right.
So you have to, if you're going to put her in this thing, and this also falls under the whole not everybody needed to be in Goddess League type thing, and this is one of those situations for me, right?
Hmm.
Now, if you want to fill out and you want to make teams and you want to, put everybody in brackets and whatnot, cool. Yeah, all right. So if I was making a serious team, if I felt like they were going to go anywhere, if they wanted to put a team together, it would be Suzu and Bozilla, right?
Yeah.
That would be your team. And then they would run roughshod over a lot of people and go far. This is obviously you put her with Akira. Akira is gonna eat a bunch of pins. They'll get a couple of wins on the strength of Bozilla absolutely just crushing somebody. Is probably what's going to happen. I don't see them going anywhere. I like Bozilla a lot. Obviously, she's still pretty green,
Hmm.
and in certain spots is kind of exposed for that. But I like her a lot. I enjoy seeing her, and I've Akira Kuragane is my kind of wrestler. She checks all the boxes. The minute she walked out and had her first match, the intensity that she brings, I think she can go far in the company eventually.
Hmm.
But obviously, right now, she's you know, uh, the the young boy, but the female, the young boy, so to speak, for Mi Vida Loca. She's there to eat pins. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And Blood Money Akira agrees. He says Akira Kuragane will take most of the pins or submissions. Keenan says Bozilla gonna carry the dubs. Yeah, I mean,
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Anybody that follows any of this stuff, you look at that team, you know exactly what it is. They're filling out a block. They're gonna, Okada's gonna use that team to make the math where he needs to make the math in the bracket to get the people into the finals that he needs to get there. They're there to, pick up one or two, maybe just off the strength of Bozilla. But they'll be fun. They'll be fun to watch, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I'm thinking probably two at the
Yeah.
most. Um,
Mhm.
Ooh, interesting. Keenan says I could see them kicking Akira out and recruiting Kikyo.
Hmm.
I
Um.
don't know about kicking Akira out. I don't know about
Yeah.
a replacement, but
Yeah, I don't think they would do that because a couple things, right? Then where does Akira go? I think Akira fits that group really well.
agreed.
Um, I mean, where else would you put her, right? God's Eye, they got 9,000 people already, so I don't see that happening. They don't need anybody else. Um,
I knew
she's
I knew
somebody
it
I
was
could
coming.
see in like hate or something, but also they have a lot of people. I
Right.
just don't see her going anywhere else, so I don't see them kicking her out. Could they add Kikyo to the group without kicking her out? I think that could happen. I don't
Yeah.
have strong feelings on Kikyo one way or the other so far yet. She hasn't um, made much of an impression on me. She's a little too new, I think.
Yeah. I don't think she's ready yet. I think give folks like her and Emma, Maishimo just a little more time, to kind of fill things out. I don't think they're quite
Yeah,
faction ready yet, but I like what I've seen from them, but I don't think they're faction ready yet.
I feel like they're like what I was saying about Rion earlier.
Uh huh.
They feel like in that same type of level. Like Rion is past that now. Like she got past that, right?
Right.
But I feel like they're where she was a year ago or a little bit more than a year ago, where they're just kind of there and they have their look and whatever. Like I said, I make the jokes that Kikyo is Five Below or Timu Maki Ito. The personality's not there to be anything really like, but it's just I guess it's the gear and everything. It kind of
Yeah.
reminds me of Maki a little bit, but just to draw a generic comparison. But she doesn't. There's no. I haven't seen any personality from Emma or her that makes me go, oh man, they're going to be something else. I have no thoughts either way of whether they're going to be there in a year or whether they're going to just not be there.
Right.
They're just kind of there.
No, that's totally understandable. Totally understandable.
Yeah. Which is fine. They're rookies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not every rookie's going to. It's just that it's almost like we get spoiled with a lot of Joshi companies and
Hmm.
a lot of the rookies because they come in and they're way better than people like, let's face it, if you go on the American Independence or you see somebody that like some football player or something that they brought out of wherever onto NXT, like these gals come in a lot of time way better wrestlers,
Right.
way more fully formed wrestlers than a lot of people in a lot of other companies just because of the training that they go through. It's like we've had so many like blue chippers that it's almost like you see somebody like this and it feels like we're crapping on them or whatever. But no, it's more just like we're spoiled.
Yeah.
So they stand out more because we've had so many people excel when they come in instead of just being what a normal rookie is.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one other comment. Keenan says, I wonder if Anne and Matoy will reinvent themselves character-wise when they return. Honestly,
Mm,
probably not.
yeah. I
I,
think it's too early for that. I don't think they had much characters like honed in to begin with
right.
to really reinvent anything yet because if you look at most Japanese companies anyway, or even most other wrestling companies too, when the booking is decent, when you have somebody until you're ready to like give them another next level like push of any sort, usually you don't go through much of a character transformation, right? Otherwise, that character transformation is wasted. It's just like if somebody pulls out a new finisher that they start using, and immediately, as soon as they pull out that new finisher, someone's already kicked out of it. Well,
Hmm.
now it's nothing, right? It's kind of you've wasted it. So I don't think they'll go under any kind of character transformation of any type or reinvigorate themselves until there's some kind of something that warrants it, where they're ready to start moving them up a little bit up that totem pole. And I don't think that'll happen yet.
Yeah. No, that's I totally agree. I really just I'm looking forward to when they return and really just getting back into the mix of things ultimately. Um,
Yeah, I think Matoy was like they were doing enough with her where she was going to join a faction soon.
right,
And
right.
it was sad because that timing of that injury sucked because now you bring her back and it's like, what do you do? Do you bring her back where it's kind of like, oh wow, she's back, and they put her in a faction because you risk, depending on how your audience is, if a lot of people it's gonna land with a thud,
Mhm.
where they're not gonna care.
Mhm.
Are they going to remember her enough? Like, obviously, we remember her, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if you're
Yeah.
a hardcore fan, you remember. But the casual, like, fans that are there that are kind of in and out might be like, "Oh, who was that again?" So I don't. That's why I don't think they'll do anything serious with them. And Emma, I don't think she's ready yet. I think she's right there with. I put her with Kikyo. Same type
Mhm.
of thing.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Enigma, welcome to the stream. He says, "What's up?" He says, "Anne
What up?
is so Cosmic Angels coded without even doing anything, or maybe stars." He also says Matoy was focused on joining God's Eye. That's right. I remember she
Yeah.
was. Good reminder. And Keenan says to me, Anne's character was quirky, happy chick, and Matoy was nervous, excited person.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not much of which
Okay.
are
Oh,
you
go
know
ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
those are kind of rookie, just person that's happy to be there type thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's
Yeah.
I don't disagree with them. I just think that that's definitely not a character yet that you're gonna build on. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Two more teams left in the Red Goddesses block. This next team, well, hmm. Uh, hmm. Well, this. Hmm, how can I break this down? This was supposed to be Hazuki and Koguma Fukuoka Double Crazy,
mm,
but apparently we're getting a quote unquote CMLL team in the form of Dos Locas de Mexico, made up of Teodletco and Osita.
yeah.
Uh,
I
yeah.
don't I don't know what to say with this. I'll be honest.
Let it out.
I don't know
Just let
what
it all out.
dude, I don't I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't know if this is like I'm okay. I'm gonna assume that this was an idea that they pitched. You know what I mean? Because Okada, from everything I've heard, it seems to be like that the wrestlers tell him what kind of storylines they're interested in and where they want to go and where they see themselves. And he has been on record saying that it's his job to make those things happen and find out ways to get there in interesting ways, right?
Uh huh.
Um, so I don't know if this comes from a thing like it's not like their matches have been bad this past
Right.
year or anything. It's not like they've been declined or anything, but I just don't know within the company what's what FWC is doing. And I'm not going to say that because of like win-loss record or because of any of that, right? Because like what are you going to do? Put the belts on them 20 times? Are they going to be like the God of Stardom, where you just keep putting the tag belts on them?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I understand them doing like side quests and doing other stuff. What the thing that to me is weird was the whole them separating from stars and then nothing happening. Like I
Right.
thought for sure with the timing, them doing that, and then they had that one match. I remember you and I talked about this where they were in a trios match where they were teaming with Suzu.
Yes.
I thought Suzu's new unit was going to include them,
Which would have been
right?
nice.
And yeah, right. It makes sense. But the fact that they haven't joined up with her or anybody,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel like there's been any character movement either. It feels like they're just there
Right.
and just kind of doing stuff, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they're riding out, they're just doing fun stuff until their contracts are up. I can't get a read on it. I can't. And as far as the whole like, oh, it's not that, like, everybody's gonna know it's them. And to me, like, that just makes the whole situation comical. So that makes me think, are they just gonna do, are they gonna lean heavily into comedy in these matches? Is it gonna be, Koguma doing the bear stuff, but find a way to make it funny where it's like it's a Mexican bear? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. I just don't, so I don't know. And I don't enjoy the La Pedita, like, all that stuff in Seedling, because like, everybody knows, everybody's in on a joke, they know who the wrestlers are, and it
Right.
kind of caps how serious you can go with things. And I feel like that's what they're doing here. So I almost feel like it's almost a uh I guess you could say it's a crutch as to why you're already building in the built-in excuse as to why you're setting the expectations low for
Uh-huh.
everybody, that they're not going to make it to the finals. They're not going to win the thing. They're
Right.
not to be taken seriously in this, right? Because
Right.
they're doing that themselves out the
Right.
gate. So as somebody that loves them as a team, um, I don't know. That's the best I can say. I think they're going to win some, they're going to lose some, and I think they're not going to go to the finals. And I think it's going to perplex a lot of people what's going on.
So there's a couple of things that come to mind with this. I don't know if there was some sort of original plan since the forming of the Stardom CMLL partnership to scramble to get an actual CMLL team for this tournament. I mean, that was one thought that I had, but secondly, I'm honestly there with you. I really don't know what's in it for the future of Fukuoka Double Crazy. I mean, you know me. Like, they are pretty much my favorite Joshi tag team. I really was under the impression that I thought they were going to be given the opportunity to become next level Thunder Rock. And I know that's big. I know that's really big because, I mean, I think it's safe to say that Thunder Rock is the greatest tag team ever in Stardom history. Now, with FWC, and I'll get to the comments in a second. I see they're pouring in. Um, I just really feel like, because we've talked about this offline. My whole prediction was if they did not get booked for this tournament, I thought they were going to be out of here. Like, just that was the clue. And now that they're doing this, like, they were announced for it, and then like a day before, because this kicks off tomorrow, they're not in it, but they're in it as mass luchadores. And it's just like, hmm. So I really, even to close out this year, going into 2026, I really don't know what to expect for Fukuoka Double Crazy. I mean, I'm all
I
for
don't
the.
think anybody does.
I mean, I'm all for the FWC versus the world, take over the world, but it's like, what does that ultimately look like for them? Is really
Mhm.
the question. Um, let's see. Uh, Enigma says, I'm sure they're related to El Grande Americano somehow. Wow. Nice one. Um, uh, Bloody Money says, yes, basically Hazuki Koguma and Luchador Mask. He was saying just unmask one of them and then both of them. I mean, I guess that could happen between now and the end of the tournament. I don't know. Apparently Enigma says, FWC have been freelancers with Stardom contracts the majority of the year. Interesting. Did did you know that? I did not know that.
Well, no, I mean, well, I think what he's saying is that they're essentially been freelancing a lot, but they're under Stardom contract, but Stardom's letting them do other stuff, which Yeah, I mean,
Ah,
we
that
pretty
makes
much have
sense.
seen that, which is
Yeah.
just weird. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a normal thing. So it's kind of uncharted territory, and I guess we just don't know why.
Yeah.
Like if they're just bored and they want to wrestle other places and everything, or if Okada told them like, "Hey, I'll let you do. I don't really have big plans for you guys, but if you want, I don't know. It's just it's strange.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Keenan
I mean,
says,
dating back just real quick, even with
yeah, yeah.
Hazuki, right? Dating
Hmm.
back to last year, like the whole thing, the way everything went down with the stuff with Wingori and everything, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Like it felt very like not a cohesive like story thing where you almost wonder like, is there some actual friction between them in real life? And the thing is, I know Saya was very close with Hazuki for a long time. Like
Hmm.
when Kagetsu retired,
Hmm. Yep.
uh,
Good point.
Saya said that Kagetsu and Hazuki were her wrestling parents, and she wanted to make them proud.
Yes, I do
You know,
remember
and,
that.
and
Hmm.
that whole tearful, thing about that, right? So it felt weird. Like there was just, I don't know, there was some kind of tension going on and whatever. And I don't know how much of it was story and how
Hmm.
much of it was something real, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if they just generally didn't get along anymore or something, because the way that went down, you expected some kind of like actual payoff, not just them going, okay, we're not in stars anymore. And it wasn't like a super violent, like, blood feud type thing. It wasn't, they didn't go join hate. They didn't go to another group. It's just, oh, we're by ourselves. There's no payoff.
Yeah.
Like, so everything just feels very much like they're just in limbo. And I guess that's the last I'll say. And it's just weird. It's just weird, I guess, is the best way I could say it, right?
Yeah. Um, Keenan says, it could still happen, them and Me Vita Loca, but FWC and Neo Genesis would be unique. I can't see them in Neo Genesis. That's, I don't think they would fit that theme.
That would feel even more. Although, man, I'd love to see Hazuki, May, and Koguma as a trio. That would be fun. But yeah, I don't think it would be completely out of the realm of possibility. But I don't know. I think I'll be honest. I think Hazuki, she's like she's a really sweet person,
Oh yeah.
right? Like real life wise. But I
Hmm.
think like I've seen her, like I remember being in New York at the show, and this was when she was in Oedo Tai, and
Mm.
Mayu threw her wristband, and it like ricocheted off the thing, and she went and grabbed it and like sneakily went over and handed it to this little girl, and kind of
Oh.
it was like her little tongue in cheek moment, like, oh, I'm a big heel, but like here I'm gonna do this and try to see if no, hopefully nobody sees or whatever.
Hmm.
She's a really sweet person, but I think her best stuff, ring wise, is when
Hmm.
she's nasty, when she's heelish, when she at least leans more to heel size. Like for anybody that's been watching a long time, right? When
Hmm.
she was in QQ early on, when she
Hmm.
used to do the thing where she would come across the ring with the lollipop and like shove it in the person's
Yep.
face, and suck
Sure
it in her
did.
face and do all that kind of stuff. She was a real cocky, like shit heel kind of character. And then when she went to Oedo Tai, she was even worse, right? And
Yeah.
she's a very hard striker. She will throw forearms with the best of them. She's got a mean streak. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
best when she plays into that. And if you put her in a super bite me babyface group, she kind of sticks out a little bit. She
Hmm.
always felt off in stars to me. Um, you know, and I think honestly, that's why I think she's better. Like Mivi DeLoca to me, like you're not going to put her in hate, right?
Right.
So if you're not going to do that, then put her in Mivi DeLoca. I think that's the way to go because they're close enough to being full heel, and I wish they would just make them full heel. I don't know what's with companies not being able to have two like actual heel groups at the same time anymore. Um, they should do that and put her there, and I think that would be best.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a really good breakdown, and especially considering one thing I will say, just from my experiences meeting Hazuki, she loves the fans. Like,
Well,
j- just from meeting her and Spark, meeting her in Stardom, like she loves the fans. Like, just when she won that Spark Joshi title and just got into the crowd and was just vibing with everybody, like that was just really cool. Um, let's see. Enigma says, I thought they were gonna pull a Mayu and announce this would be their last tag league. Oh, yeah, that would have been interesting. Um, Keenan says FWC team with Kikyo and Emma sometimes, maybe a four-person group will form. Interesting. Um, Enigma says, oh, okay, so you pretty much confirmed what Enigma was saying. He was saying, mean that FWC works for Stardom, but they've been everywhere but Stardom for most part of the year. Gotcha. Spot
yeah.
on. Um, he says, I
So like
remember
the
when.
Tomohiro Ishii of Star.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, actually, no, that's a good comparison. That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like they don't know what to do with them, so they're like, "Oh yeah, go, go do your thing. You paid your dues here. Go, It's strange though. I don't know.
yeah.
Last thing I'll say on them because I know we got a lot of other teams to get to. It's getting late and whatnot. Um, but it almost feels like Hazuki is held back
Mhm.
by Koguma, and I don't mean that Koguma's not a good wrestler. She's fantastic.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like one of those things. Like if they split them off, I think they won't know what to do with like Koguma will suffer more. Like they could shoot Hazuki further up the card, but I almost feel like she might not want to because she doesn't want Koguma to get left behind and not, have a lot to do. And I,
Right.
I think that's the problem. And I think Koguma pigeonholed herself a lot with a lot of the Kuma thing. It's become, like I said, there was a time where it was a fun little departure thing, but she's done it to the point ad nauseum where it's become what she's known for more than for her actual wrestling.
Yeah.
She's like become a meme. And that's a problem, right? Because when you have one wrestler that's become a meme and the other wrestler who actually is one of the best wrestlers in the company could be treated as such and you could put any belt on her, but she's put in this other category by the other person. The only place that they have the real serious contendership and like where people take them super serious is as FWC as that tag team, right?
Yeah.
But once again, how many times are they going to put the belts on them? So I think that's the problem right now. It's like, what do you do? Either they break up and you shoot Hazuki up the card and you take her serious, or Koguma drops the shtick and then risks losing her popularity because that's what she's popular for now. It's a tough spot.
Yeah. That's totally understandable. Let's see. Remember when Hazuki ripped off Starlight Kid's mask and then cut this tweener
Yeah,
promo?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Hazuki I want to see.
Yeah. Like, and then even Keenan mentioned a heel Koguma would be something. That would be kind of. What would that look like?
She's got to drop the bear thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's run its course. It's run its course to me. Like it's like any, doofy, gimmick thing in wrestling. Like, you know, everything runs its course.
Right.
And what are you doing with that? So if you're going to continue with that, they're going to continue floundering and not doing anything because it's going to be the same thing, night in and night out. If she
Yeah.
drops that and we go a little more, like yeah, if she develops like the nasty streak, because I've seen it, she can have it in the ring. She's
Mhm.
just got to drop the other thing. Like I would like to see them go heel, honestly.
Indeed. Okay. Last Red Goddess's team. Uh, she made her request and it was granted. The team of Sari and Miku Kanai.
So yeah, like I was saying, but this is one of those teams. I think it's gonna they're just there. That's a filler team for me.
Um, I mean, I know they've teamed up quite a bit. I mean, I know they had like a little trio. It was Sari and Chi Chi and Miku Kanai, and they've been, teaming up quite a bit. I mean, I mean, I'm not too surprised that Sari's in this tournament. I mean, she was in the 5 star, so I mean, I'm not too surprised. Um, as far as how they'll do, I mean, Sari's,
I think it's a Bozilla. It's a Bozilla and Akira situation.
yeah, pretty much.
Like that's the thing that's why I'm saying I feel like they're just kind of there, and I don't understand what they're doing because it's an identical team almost to that, where you've got the plucky, um, underdog, hard hitter girl with somebody who's obviously sorry doesn't look like Bozilla, but you know what I mean. But in the ring,
Right,
she's gonna wreck most of the people she's against.
right.
So you have two people of such disparaging, level of how they're booked up and down the card on a team.
Hmm.
I don't get having two of those same teams in the same block. I think this is I feel like almost like this is something where Sare had obligations to make dates for them,
Hmm.
and because of the Marigold thing, maybe they weren't going to do anything serious with her in this thing, so they decided this is what they're going to do and put her with someone that can just eat pins and what. I don't think there's going to be any like major, like I don't think there's any Stardom storyline that's going to come out of this. As
Hmm.
best I can put it.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
could be wrong, but
That's
I don't know.
definitely fair. I mean, top three, I don't know about that, but I mean, I guess it's just one of those like anything can happen
Yeah.
with that team.
I mean, top three, maybe on the strength of we don't know what their agreement is with Sari in terms of her booking, right?
Hmm. Right. Nah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like that, like it almost feels like to me that's the thing, right? Like if they make it far in the tournament and it's not Miku doing like scoring some impressive upset victories on her own part during this,
Right.
it's going to feel an awful lot like sorry politicking,
Mm. No,
and
that's
I don't think that's gonna give anyone a good feeling. You know what I mean? And I like sorry, and I hate politicking and all that stuff in wrestling or even talking about it. But it's just
right.
like the Stardom domestic fans. I think that's what they're gonna like. If that team goes to like the finals or like far in, that's what they're gonna smell. That this
Yeah.
is like they're bending over for sorry instead of pushing their own homegrown talent, the people that are there.
Yeah.
They're pushing the outsider or whatever just because of her status, and that's going to suck. That's why I don't think that team should be in there. I think it's almost pointless.
I see. I see. All right, bro. Ready for the Blue Goddesses block?
Let's go.
All right. First up for the Blue Goddesses block, within the ranks of stars, quite an interesting combo. We have Saya Ida and oh no, 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 not Hanan, but the top Gaijin B Priestley.
So I'm one of those people that I know B gets a lot of hate and stuff like that sometimes, and I feel like a lot of it is undeserved. I've been a B Priestley fan for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When she first came into Stardom and teamed with Kelly Klein. That was a horrible team to watch, but I always thought B had potential. Um, and the times I've met her and stuff like that and had conversations with her, she's a really cool person. She's actually very, very nice. And like when she says those things about like, oh, Stardom is my home, this and that, from the times I've talked to her and everything, that's all like, that's not a thing to just endear herself to fans or be phony or anything. That's how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the company that she is most happy being in. She loves wrestling there. She's very tight with a lot of the girls in that locker room.
Yep.
She's basically family there, right? That being said, as much as I like B, Um, this is an oddball tag team for me, and Saya Iida is my favorite wrestler, as you know, in Stardom, right?
Yes.
But I don't know like how they're going to book this team. I don't know. They're protecting B,
Hmm.
and kind of keeping her strong, right?
Right.
With that being the case, if you're not going to have this team go far, because it's not going to be a normal thing that you're gonna make a team out of, it's just on odds out right now. Um, are you going to have Ida eat a bunch of pins? Because that kind of sucks. Because it's like you're going to shove Ida back down to where she was before
Hmm.
when she was just in one of the longer reigning tag team champions that they've had in quite some time. So instead of springboarding her like where she loses up, like where they lose the tag belts, and Hanan gets elevated a little bit, Ida gets elevated, or you have them make a run at the tag titles again. Instead, now you have this situation where Ida feels like she's going to fall down the card a little bit more, and I hate that.
Hmm.
So, and to do that at the expense of, well, we just had to shove them in the tournament. I don't know. I can't get a read on how far they're going to let them go. If they're gonna make it like, oh well, Ida was just tag champions not long ago, so they're gonna gel as a team and they're gonna go a little bit deep. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do there.
I will say, got a chance to meet both of these ladies. Saya can be such a goofball, and
Oh, big time.
B is very chill. Like, met her at the Spark show she competed in before she went and joined Stardom, and she is very chill. And when when folks started chatting with her and lining up for pictures, she was just like, "All right, y'all want pictures? Let's do this. Let's do it." And yeah, you could definitely tell. I was not surprised that she returned to Stardom. Like,
No.
it just it was a perfect fit. It was a perfect fit for her. Hopefully this team will do some damage. I don't know how much, but I would like to see how well these two can gel together.
Yeah, and B does feel uh she feels I don't want to say like we had to talk. Like I don't think she's completely out of place in stars, but I don't think it's the best use of her. Um like I don't know. Like B is kind of like if there was anywhere to have B running with, right?
Hmm.
Not to go back to him again, but FWC. She's very tight with Hazuki. They're very good
True.
friends. And B also can like play that tweener role or have that mean streak. And she feels a little it just feels like a weird like Stars feels like rather than being a fully formed unit that makes sense right now, it feels like back years ago when Stars was the Stardom Army
Oh
and it
yeah.
was just the catch-all for everybody. It was like Hantai, where they
Yes.
just, oh, we don't know where to put these baby faces. They're all in just this amorphous group that doesn't really have an identity. It wasn't Stars, it was Stardom Army. That's where it feels like they're at again. It doesn't feel the same way as a unit.
Now that totally makes
Obviously,
sense.
my unit. Yeah.
Because I mean, I at this point I felt strongly like it's hard to have stars with no Mayu. So
Yeah, they should have just created a new unit. That's what they should do, honestly.
yeah. Okay. Next team, we have the recently, newly crowned Stardom New Blood Tag Team Champions of Cosmic Angels, Sakurara, made up of the High Kick Angel Aya Sakura and Miss Tokimeki Spear herself, Sayaka Kurara.
This is probably the time where we should be thankful that our boy Jarrett wasn't able to join us. I'm just kidding, Jarrett, because we know who he's going to be rooting for in this
Oh,
tournament, and it
of
will be these
course.
two young ladies. Mostly because of Carrara. And I will say this, right? For this team, Aya was somebody that I wasn't super duper high on until like another one until this past year. Not that there was ever anything wrong with her. She was a pretty good wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't feel like she had enough personality. Oh boy, she's been showing out lately.
Yes, she
She's
has.
shown a lot of fire, a lot of personality the past year. Her matches have been really, really good. Um, and you know, Carrara showed that she has the goods like last year. Like pretty much all last year was the year of Carrara rising up. You know, Tam did a lot for her
Mm-hmm.
to bring her along. And was I shocked they won the New Blood Tag titles? Absolutely not. As soon as I saw that match was made, I was like, well, they're winning those belts, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to be honest, would not shock me if they win the whole tournament.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually could potentially see them making top three and making the playoffs. I actually could.
Yeah. I just, you know how what I was saying before about like if I had the book and I was sitting there, I'd be like, oh, Hina and Rana, right?
Right.
Um, like I said, that would be the team where I would be utterly stunned if Okada actually went that far and did it. I would like to see it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't expect it to happen. These two, I would not be shocked, not in the least. I could very well see them coming into Dream Queendom as the New Blood Tag Team Champions going up against BMI 2000. Not double title. It would only be double title for one of them because you're not going to have Natsuko carrying around the New Blood titles, right?
Yeah.
Also gives them something to still have when they lose.
Right.
Because I think they would lose. I think that would be you would get them right there and you would tease it, tease it, tease it, tease it, that they would lose.
Yeah.
Um, but I wouldn't be shocked if they win this league,
Yeah. I
and I
could
wouldn't be shocked if they win the belts within next year. I think
yeah.
that'll happen.
I could
Mark that down,
definitely
man.
see I could definitely at least see them make top three if not win the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Next team. Well, it's not Karate Brave like I hoped for, but I mean, not neither Inaba sisters in it. But it is a team that
Yeah.
is surprisingly familiar, and that would be God's Eyes Annex Con, made up of Saki Kashima and the leader, current IWGP Women's Champion Shuri.
So this is another for me. This team did not need to be in this.
Agreed.
And as for why, we know Shuri has Tokyo Dome on the horizon, right?
Yes. Hmm.
However, I don't know what Shuri's going to be doing at Dream Queendom because of the Tokyo Dome
Right.
situation. I don't know that they've set up someone else for the IWGP before that.
Hmm.
I also don't think Shuri takes a pin before the Tokyo Dome. So I
Ah.
think now you've got yourself in this situation where if you were going to set up another challenger for her for Dream Queendom before the Tokyo Dome, even though you know she's not going to lose before that,
Hmm.
I would think somehow they set that up through this, right? Somebody pins her, and that's how you get your match. And I would think that that's how that would play out if this Tokyo Dome match wasn't happening at Wrestle Kingdom.
Hmm.
But with that being the case, I think now they've backed themselves into a corner. She can't take any L's. So it's going to be Saki just taking a lot of L's. And they're just in there as a filler team, and it's a waste of time.
Uh-huh.
That's just how I feel about this. Like, I feel like this is like a, whatever. I think it's it's unfortunate because I would rather have seen uh Shuri and Tomoka, like you were saying, and nothing against Saki, but you see where this is going, you know?
Yeah. And of course, you know how much I love Karate Brave. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Unless, and this is complete opposite end of the spectrum, playing devil's advocate, right?
okay.
They win the whole thing. And that's what Shuri's doing on Dream Queendom, is
Oh.
wrestling BMI 2000 for the tag titles with Saki, and somehow they win the tag belts. So it won't sting as much when Shuri loses the IWGP to Saya at Wrestle King. I hope
Oh.
that's not what happens. I
Oh.
very much hope that's not what happens.
Right.
I don't think they're going to give Shuri a short reign this time. I think she's actually going to beat Kamatani. I think. The only
Yeah.
thing that makes me hesitate on that is how big of a TV star Saya has become in Japan over there too, where she's got this other celebritydom like outside of the wrestling thing now, where it's almost like have they created something now where she's too big to lose
Mm-hmm.
on that stage? And maybe New Japan steps in since they own Stardom and says, no, 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 we're putting them on the show and we're going to give them the time, but Kamatani has to go over. That's
Mm.
where they might step in and tell Okada this is how it's going to be, and you know, where I
Yeah.
think if Okada was booking it, I think he would go the other way.
And it'll be
So I don't know.
interesting.
That's
It'll be
yeah,
interesting.
I could be completely wrong, but
Yeah,
just a
considering
thought.
Dream Queendom would be Saya's 1 year anniversary since winning the red belt. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do on that platform of Wrestle Kingdom 20 with that. Um, oh yeah, that's right, double title match, the strong belt and the IWGP.
Yeah.
Now, this next team, I'm gonna tell you right now, I am stamping it. They will make the playoffs, no doubt about it. And they are from God's Eye, the Reiwa Tokyo Towers of Amisore, God's chosen big girl, and the human tower, Lady C.
So, and I think I told you this. So no spoiler here. I think I told you this a couple weeks ago before they even announced the teams.
Uh huh.
Um, this is not necessarily who I'll be rooting for to win it. I told you I'm pulling for Rina and Hana. I mean,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Rana and Hina.
Mm hmm.
Can't talk anymore. But the team I actually think is actually legitimately going to win the tournament. This is the team. I think they're going to win.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like this is a situation where, much like Ruka, right?
Mm hmm.
Lady C has been, glorified jobber for a long, long, long time, right?
Mm hmm.
And if you're gonna finally give her flowers somewhere, she's made improvements the past couple years, I feel like Hanako coming in and being the revelation that she's been, and as good as she is, it kind of made Lady C feel like an afterthought. Because like here's this other big girl, she's even bigger and she's broader shouldered and she's like a monster, right?
Mm hmm.
And they kind of gave her the push, right? And it kind of felt like Lady C was never going to get anything.
Mm hmm.
Well, here comes your favorite, Ami, comes back right at the perfect time. You've got a tag team right now in the champions that are two bigger girls, right? It's their whole
Right.
gimmick, BMI 2000, right?
Right.
What better place on what stage to have the match of the two big tall chicks versus the two big heavy chicks than Dream Queen, right? So you're going to have BMI 2000 versus the Ray with Tokyo Towers. I think that's your match at Dream Queendom, and I think they're going to win the tournament.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Um,
Yeah.
I will say this, and then we'll move on to the next team. Being that Ami came back, earlier this year, about that March, April time, she made it back in time to compete in the 5 star. I think the rest of this year, since her return, was the trial run.
Mm-hmm.
I am totally believing, and you can hold me to this. Ami Sourei wins next year's 5 star Grand Prix.
Okay.
I truly believe,
Interesting call.
and the reason why I say this is because we have to also keep in mind we have Ami back at 100%. She's not. affected by a lingering injury for multiple years. She is now 100%. Two, with how she did in this year's 5 star. I mean, who does she ended up losing to? The one that won the whole thing. Now, my thing is this: being at how well she has been booked overall in her return, I mean, she's not one that gets pinned a lot. I mean, it's few and far in between. Um, we already know that she's been a singles champion, she's been a future champ, she's been a tag champ, and I believe she's been artist champ as well. Um, I just think with how she's been going. Plus, they never did come full circle with her and Saya Kamatani, being that you know the angle that happened when she came back. Because I mean, she did lose in her comeback match, even though it wasn't a singles match; it was a trios match. I think
Mhm.
they're gonna eventually do something with that, especially considering if Saya still has the red belt, which honestly, I really don't know if anybody else, if they're not going to have Momo do it, because I thought she was going to do it, they could come back around to that. But even if they don't, I definitely see a big tournament victory for Ami. And it still could be the Cinderella tournament, although I'm haven't, really with the direction they're doing with the Cinderella tournament, it's probably not gonna be that anymore. So gotta go 5 star. And that another thing is why I mentioned going back to Shuri. These
Mm.
two ladies are 1-1-1 against each other. Like at some point, Ami is gonna be in for a major singles title run. It's coming.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think she's gonna get the world before she gets the Wonder though. I think she's gonna win the Wonder next year. That's if she wins one of the two. I think it'll be that. I think somebody, I don't remember if you said it the other day or it was Zach or who we were talking. Um, I think it's Micah. I think Micah's gonna be the one to take Kamatani.
Oh,
And I don't think she'll have the belt. I don't think she'll have the belt for a very long time. I think she's going to be possibly a transitional champion for somebody else. But I think they don't have a lot of people that are proven main eventers like that are like established as like this, this mountain to climb. And I think Micah's one of them. So
mm-hmm.
I think when she comes back, that's somebody you can slot in there. But the youth movement is on, and there are other people that are coming up. There's also SLK.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I made the comment about how I thought SLK might be the one to beat Saya and everything, I didn't even realize because I was behind and hadn't seen um, the results because I was trying to stay unspoiled until I could see the card. But I spoiled it for myself going online and saw Konami with the belt, and I was like, oh, so without even knowing it, maybe I hit the nail on the head because I think SLK losing that belt was to free her up
Mm. And
to go win the world of Stardom. So I think she might be the one. It's
interesting.
either going to be her or Micah. I think that's going to take it off of Kamatani. It's going to be one of those two, and I'm almost betting it's SLK.
Yeah, and shout out to Blood Money, who says Ami Sourei hasn't won a major singles title outside the future title. Well, here's another thing to keep in mind. Look how long they took for Konami to finally win a singles title. Just saying,
Yeah,
bro. Just saying. It took 10
she
years.
won't have that long. I'm put it that I think Konami loses that at Dream Queendom.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that was a gold watch uh, belt up right there. That was a we want to get this belt. That's why I think SLK is winning the world Stardom soon because I think that was a we want to get this belt off of her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
So, you established, like, they had Konami beat Sare, right?
Mm-hmm.
In in the 5-star and everything.
Yep.
I think what they've done is they've created another heel that is credible as a challenger and all that stuff by doing this, and have her win the Wonder to get her up to that status where it's like she's always a threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she's going to have any kind of long run with this belt. I think it's like kind of, she won it and she's probably going to lose it pretty quick to somebody else.
I see. Mm. That would be interesting. Starlight Kid to red belt champ. Okay. Next team. Oh, now this is about to get really interesting because this next team will be Hanako, the future of Stardom champion, and X.
So, okay.
Who do you think X will be?
um, so I think this could go one of two ways.
Okay.
I think X could be um somebody being brought in from the outside that, got released from another company or something like that. Somebody, like random, where none of we would ever see it coming, and we're going to be like, oh, okay, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's Micah.
You think Michael would be cleared?
I don't know, right? But nobody thinks she's going to be cleared. What I
Hmm.
will say is, if it is Micah, throw everything I just said out the window about the Ray with Tokyo Towers and apply it to them. They're going to be the ones to win.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, they're going to get their booking. If that's what it is, if it's Micah, they are going to go through this tournament, uh, and they are going to win the belts at Dream Queendom. And if you look back, like Dream Queendom a couple years ago, you had the big match, right, with Micah and Natsuko, which was fucking awesome. That match was amazing, especially seeing that live, like right up front.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think this will be a callback to that too, right? Where now she comes back, she teams with Hanako. They were a team, a couple years ago in the tournament. And yeah, that's that's where I see this going. If she turns out to be X. Now, usually X is not somebody that's already in a company,
Mm-hmm.
but there's your swerve, right? Because nobody thinks she's coming back yet. So maybe, who knows?
Well,
Do you have any guess? Do you have any idea who like
I'm
somebody it could
honest.
be?
I'm honestly thinking that it's Zaina because I would think that she would be good to go by now. In all honesty, so I was thinking it's her, and at least it'd be somebody that would be in the EXV ranks. Um,
That's
the
why I think it's not her.
the only other person I would have thought of, um, now it's deemed impossible because she's in another tournament, and this was stemming back to the fact that they had teamed up into one of the pretty much the cheapest trios put together when they did Micah, Hanako, and Megan Bain. But Megan Bain's doing the AEW women's tag tournament, and she's got a new partner
Mhm.
now in Marina Shafir. So honestly, Zaina's my number one choice. And shout out to Joshi Cyber Squad podcast for tuning in. Had mentioned that Micah is ahead of her rehab. My big concern is being that she had Tommy John surgery, and Micah's a power wrestler. She throws a lot of lariats, does a lot of power moves. I just hope that arm is good to go, cause that Tommy John surgery ain't no joke. So
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, well, here's the thing, right? Xena, where's she from? She's from Australia, right?
yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it's not her. And here's why. Two reasons. One, like I said, usually X is not somebody that's already in the company already. So I don't see them doing that. I think it's an underwhelming thing if it's her as a surprise. So I think it's got to either be somebody completely new or it's Micah. Second reason I don't think it's her. What we were talking about before with New Japan. No TMDK, Haste and Helms, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Haston Helms rather. Shane Haston. God, why am I blanking on his name right now?
Oh, Mikey
Uh,
Nichols. Mikey Nichols.
Mikey Nichols. Mikey Nichols, right? They're not in World Tag League, right?
Right.
They didn't bring them over. They didn't bring the Velocities over from Australia for Junior Tag League. So, I know it's not the same company, but New Japan owns Stardom.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder. I don't think she's coming back for any within the calendar year.
Hmm.
Just a hunch. I think it's going to be somebody that's either like a freelancer or something like that they're going to put in this thing, or it's somebody that got let go from the States that for some reason is going over there and is going to do a stint that we wouldn't even have thought of.
Yeah. Oh, it's a interesting prediction. I can dig it.
Like a Shotzi or something.
Oh, that would be unique. That would be very unique.
All right, somebody who has wrestled there before briefly, one match.
Yeah. Okay. Next team, another familiar team, which I think this might be their third Goddess Tag League together. But from Neo Genesis, O2 line, made up of Azumi and Miyu Amasaki.
Okay, so another team that now I wouldn't be shocked if they win the whole thing. I think they have. I think that's their ceiling. Obviously, that's the best you can get, right? Is winning the whole thing. So I think it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to win the tournament. Um, I'm somebody who just personally, and Azumi is one of my favorite wrestlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I wish it was Azumi and SLK. That's the team I want to see, and I wish they ran them as a team, and I could see them going through the whole tournament and winning it. I'm not I'm not big on Miyu, and I can't put my finger on why. She just doesn't. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler. I'm not trying to dog her or anything.
Mm-hmm.
She's not somebody that I get excited to see wrestle.
Gotcha.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's her move set or whatever. It's just like kind of feels like she's there for me. I've never heard anybody go, "Oh, Miyu's my favorite," right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Um, but I think that because of who they are, because of the pushes they have gotten, because of Azumi and how she's thought of in the company, right? And you got to give her something to do. And she doesn't have the strong belt anymore, or anything. I think they could potentially win the whole thing. And I think if they are the ones that are the challengers at Dream Queendom, I think they win the belts.
I really wanted May Sarah Azumi, personally.
That too. I would love that too. I'll take that too.
So, yeah. But, they are experienced together, so I mean, at least there was that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Apparently, word is, according to Joshi Cyber Squad podcast, that O2 Line wasn't originally supposed to be in this tournament. Huh. Dang. Interesting. Um, okay. This next team is another pick that I see making it to the playoffs out of the Blue Goddess block. From Mi Vita Loca, the
Mhm.
dangerously deadly combination of the crazy girl Suzu Suzuki and Rina Yamashita.
Okay, so now here's a team that I 100% uh, would not be disappointed if they won the whole thing. Wouldn't be disappointed at all. And a couple reasons. One, a big fan of both of them. Also, I think them versus BMI 2000
Mm-hmm.
at
Ooh.
Dream Queendom, everybody's better clear the heck out of the first couple rows. I do have my front row seat secured for Dream Queendom, so I'll be up front, and I will probably be almost losing my camera to it
Uh-oh.
getting destroyed again if that match goes down. But I'm
Rio
willing to
Rio
risk it.
Goku. Rio Goku, baby.
Yes, I'll be there. And that match is. if that's the match, that match will be crazy. Now, I saw something the other night, and because was trying to keep spoiler free on a lot of stuff, I didn't see what the when the match was for. Um, Risa Serra challenged Suzu. I saw that. When did they make that match for?
It
Is that
will,
for her retirement show or
yeah. January 12th. It is a prominent show. That is Risa Serra's final match.
okay? So that's what they did there. Okay. So with that being the case, then yeah, I could totally see because I thought maybe it was gonna be just a Dream Queen match that she was gonna come in for, but if that's not the case, then this also is a team that I could see potentially getting to the finals, and I could see that being the match. If for nothing else, the pure aesthetics of that match would be nuts. Because
Oh yeah.
Natsuko, we already know what Natsuko likes to do. She will
Yep.
brawl all over that place. She'll bleed, whatever, you know. So will both of those girls.
Oh yeah.
Ruka will be dragged right into that level of, yeah. I think they're definitely going into the block finals at the least.
Yeah. I definitely could see them going very far in this tournament for sure. Should
Yeah.
be fun. And then the last team for the Blue Goddess block from Hate, the combo of Rena and the new Wonder of Stardom champion, the submission sniper Konami.
So, cool team. Uh, I think they're gonna end up middle of the road. I think they're gonna win enough to. They might even make it into the top three. I don't know. Um, this is another one where it's kind of like, why did they put this team in here?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like what they're gonna get out of this, if anything, is either one of two things is gonna happen. I know there's been a lot of stuff where people have said maybe Rena is going to leave Hate at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much fire there is to that smoke, but let's say there is. I would think maybe you establish some kind of something between them here in this tournament. There's some kind of friction between her and Konami happens. How, where, I don't know, right? Maybe they build it something around the fact that allegedly she, quote unquote, injured Hanan, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I think the only vehicle for this, the reason why they're in here, somebody will get a victory over Konami, I'm guessing, to set up who she defends against at Dream Kingdom. I think that's basically what you're going to get out of this. What Rena's going to get out of this tournament, I have no idea. And will they become a regular tag team coming out of it? Is that what they're setting up for down the road? I don't know. I don't really necessarily see that either.
Mm-hmm.
And they are 2/3 of the artist champions still, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So I think that's the other thing you'll get out of it. I think they're going to set up Konami's opponent for Dream Queendom. I think also we're going to get a match for the artist titles, probably at Stardom. I'm thinking the Corkin on like I think Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh,
yeah, I think that match will come out of this tournament somehow. Somebody's gonna beat them.
yeah,
And
that's gonna be interesting because I think they got that, and don't forget they have a New Blood show on Christmas Day, New Blood 27.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
I gotta try to get tickets to that.
okay, so that is the lineup. That is all 16 teams for the 15th Goddesses of Stardom Tag League, and we're gonna do one last thing. Gonna do a quick fire round. Of course, we know the tournament starts tomorrow. We got the opening six. The opening six matches. We're just gonna, give predictions on those.
All right, well, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna have three blue goddesses matches and three red goddesses matches. All right, we're gonna flip the script and start with the blue goddesses. All right, Shuri Saki Kashima versus Suzu Suzuki Rina Yamashita. Who you got?
I think they're gonna come out of the gate strong, Suzu and Rina. And somebody's getting the W over Saki.
I'm
Probably with Saki being scared of Rina Yamashita's crazy hardcore type antics at some point during this match.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Me Vita Loca, I think definitely starts off with a victory. Um, Shuri's gonna try to hold it together for the team, but I don't think it'll be enough. So me Vita Loca.
Yeah.
All right, continuing with the Blue Goddesses, Sakurara. That's Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara versus Hate of Konami and Rina.
Okay. So I think, hmm, you know what? I'm gonna go with Rina and Konami winning this one. In the old tradition of team that is actually going to go really far in the tournament, starting off bad and losing to somebody you think that they on paper will probably get the victory over. So I think they're going to lose to Konami Arena.
I was on the fence about this one possibly being an upset, but it's too early. It's really too early. I don't think them losing will hurt them too badly to start off. So I'm actually gonna agree. Hate opens up with the win, but I think Sakurara bounces back after
Yeah,
taking that
big
first L.
yeah.
And then Stars, Saya Ida and B Priestley versus O2 line, Azumi Miyamasaki.
O2 Line's going to win that.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I see an Azumi Sushi in Saya's future. Yeah.
I am gonna go Stars with B pinning Kevin.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think that's the other plausible result there. Yeah, big time. Could be either or. That's really a toss up.
yeah, yeah. Good point. And then the three red goddesses matches. First up, Yuna Mizumori Meisera versus Sari Miku Kanai.
Okay. So I wonder if this starts the friction out of the gate with them not being on the same page. I do think that this will be one of the matches where, for sure, Sari and Miku are going to win. And I think part of the easy way of capitalizing on that will be the fact that May and Yuna won't be on the same page, at least coming out of the gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think Sari is gonna rack up the win over one of them,
I'm
and they'll
gonna
probably argue about it afterward.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say Sari Miku Kanai mainly because they got a little bit more chemistry and won't have to worry about them bickering. So yeah, I'm in agreement.
Oh, one quick thing, like that's the thing, right?
Hmm.
That's the team I wish was in this, right? Instead of having Sari in it, you wanted to add a little intrigue, Miku and Chi Chi, with Sari seconding them. That's what I would have liked to have seen in this tournament.
Yeah, that would have been nice, especially because I believe Chi Chi is hurt currently, or did she?
Wait, again? I thought she came back. I know she came back. I didn't like.
Okay, I don't know why I
Maybe she
heard.
got hurt again. I hope not.
I hope not either, but I could have sworn I thought I heard something like that. Um,
That would suck.
Let's see. Oh, this is a big one. Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi and Seri Ano versus Fukuoka. I'm sorry. Dos Locas de
Oh,
Mexico, Tio Letco and Otsita.
okay. So I think Las Luchadores over there are going to get the win in this first one because I think if you're doing this gimmick, they got to put something behind it. So I think they're going to get the upset win in this first match, even though it's not an upset with us knowing who's under the thing. But I think there's going to be a lot of ha ha he he in this match. A lot of comedy stuff is going to go down in this match with them being like, "Oh, I know who it is. I know, there's going to be a lot of that." But I think they're going to pick up the
Yeah.
win.
Um. uh, at one point, I was actually thinking time limit draw, but probably because and the reason why I was thinking that is because it made me wonder, with it being the opening round, would they actually have one time limit draw? And this was one of the ones I was thinking of, but
Tag, tag league traditionally, nah. I don't really recall there ever being any. There probably was at some point in time, but I don't
I'm a
really see it.
I'm gonna go with the Luchadores because I mean,
Yeah.
deep down, I mean they're my favorite Joshi tag team, posing as a Luchador tag team, but yes. And then finally, BMI 2000, Natsuko Tora, Ruoka versus God's Eye, Hina Rana Yagami.
Okay. So, like I said, the team I'll be pulling for to win the whole thing, which I don't think they have a shot in heck, but hey, let's see what happens, right? Versus the champs. So I think Hina and Rana will lose this match for sure. But I think they're gonna give a hell of a match. But I do think there's a little, like if they're not gonna win the whole thing, I do think also this could be a way where they're one where they get a sneaky win where one of them catches Ruka and they get the upset win. And maybe they don't win the tournament, but maybe this sets them up and establishes them as maybe this is how they establish them as a real threat as a tag team by getting a victory over the champs, and then the champs get that win back from them over at like Korakuen or something, before probably one of those other matches, cards right before uh, right before Dream Queendom.
Yeah, very possible as well. But you know what? I'm gonna go Hina Rana Yagami for the upset.
Okay. Yeah, I think I see that happening, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the upset. And yeah, and just to remind everybody that starts early tomorrow morning at Corcoran Hall in Tokyo. Lovely venue. We've been there a bunch of times. But that is your 15th Goddess of Stardom Tag League preview. I'm pretty pumped about this. It's pretty much going to take over the whole month of November. I know we just recently had Crimson Nightmare, but now it's full speed ahead with this tournament. Should be exciting. Um, Starts tomorrow. The finals will take place on November 30th in Hamamatsu. So, got that to look forward to. Brian, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was an honor having you. And by all means, don't let this be the last time.
Oh, hey, no, man, this was fantastic. Thanks for reaching out. Like I talked to you before about, I wanted to try to do like a wrestling and nerd pod thing with you because I think you're perfect compliment to me doing this kind of stuff with setting things up and setting the stage for the questions and everything. So thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, my pleasure. Anytime. And I want to give you an opportunity, want to give you the floor Anybody, anything you want to shout out, any socials you want to plug, any ads, the floor is yours.
Sure. So for any guys out there that are, that are watching this, that are on Jason's Discord and everything, um, I I'm the co-owner of a company called Non-Toxic Nerd Culture slash
Yes.
Art by Quentin. Quentin Thomas is my business partner. He's a fantastic artist. Mainly, we do a lot of anime fan art that's mashups with movies and TV shows and magazine ads and things like that. Actually, hand drawn artwork, no AI BS. I won't even share AI memes. AI art is not art; it's theft. Keep that in mind. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow Art by Quinton. That's ARTBYQUINTON on Instagram. You can also follow Non Toxic Nerd Culture on Instagram, which is actually that's our community page. It's something that we're gonna do content creation from down the road, and as we like to call Non Toxic Nerd Culture, it's the utopia for all things geek. We're trying to keep all the the racism, the other toxic behaviors of homophobia and you know putting down people from marginalized communities and all that stuff, and telling cosplayers who they can cosplay and who they can't based on the color of their skin. Keep all that toxic elements of fandom at the curb. Also, it's a place for trying to keep away from spoiler talk. Make sure people can enjoy things. We want a safe, happy environment for nerds of all backgrounds to get together and enjoy their favorite things and talk about them, and also a space for people to promote their own artistic endeavors. If you're a writer, creator of any type, podcaster, um, cosplayer, you know, we constantly do features on other people on our social media through non-toxic nerd culture as well. And if you are one of those things, drop me a line, and we'd love to, promote your page or your whatever your creative endeavor is. And also, if you follow non-toxic nerd culture on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of stuff emanating from Japan next couple months, because I'll be heading over, as all goes according to plan, on November 27th. I'll be in Osaka for a couple weeks, and then I'll be in the Tokyo area until February 5th.
Whew.
So long stint. And if you guys have any stuff that you want to see while I'm over there, especially wrestling related, and if anybody is planning on going to Japan for the first time and needs any help getting around, finding all the wrestling hotspots, the bars, and different places run by different wrestlers, whatever it might be, feel free to hit me up anytime. And I would love to help you guys out, because a lot of people helped me out on my first couple trips over there. So I like to pay that forward.
And I'd also like to say that Brian has also helped me in my first trip to Japan, and it was such a blast. Like, I highly recommend, if y'all get a chance to go, take it. You will not
Yes.
be disappointed. And also, I know we got a chance to meet her again in Japan. Once again, another shout out. Happy birthday to Lady Destroyer Hiroyo Matsumoto. Bukuaso! Hope you enjoy your birthday, and hey, I can't wait to see you again. Um, but yeah, once again, thank you so much, Brian, for joining, and hope everybody else enjoyed tonight's live stream. And for those catching the archive, leave your comments, like, follow, subscribe, all of the above, and also be sure to check out the Joshi Cyber Squad podcast as well, which is another team that I'm part of. Got a lot of great content looking forward to for that channel as well, but just all one big community coming together for some awesome pro wrestling greatness, especially within the Joshi ranks. It's only going to get better, and hope everybody enjoys the 15th Goddess of Stardom Tag League. Um, for myself, Blitzball champ Jason Ingram. That is the Chase Danger, Brian. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see y'all on the next video and or